At a very young age, William Cornelius traveled with his father George and other relatives, Uncle Bell, Uncle James, and Aunt Maud, from Clarendon, Jamaica to the Isthmus of Panama. Together, Uncle Bell and Aunt Amy Maud raised and cared for William until he reached adulthood.
My loving aunt.
From what I understand, she brought him from Jamaica, and she was like his mother. And she was like a mother to us. She helped my mother a lot raising us.
She took care of us so much. She gave us everything that she could.
Amy Maud was one of the dearest persons to me. She spoiled me rotten. She will gather a coal pot and she put an oven on it. These days, this was a portable oven, and she put the oven on it and made us puddings, and she made us cookies right out there in the yard.
Amy Maud Barnes tried to inspire us to do good things.
She cared for us.
She was very loving and very caring. She read stories to us. She told us fairy tales. She told us about Jamaica.
She was like a nurse. We call it a nursemaid. She taught us to use the different herbs and plants in the yard. She used to take all these different things that you would think is wild plants and so forth, put them together and boil them, and make potions of stuff to anoint our body.
People used to visit her when they have ailment, and she will fix up a bat of whatever kind of leaf or tree bark.
She wanted me to be a doctor because all the old people were sick. And she said somebody needs to learn to take care of old people.
Amy Maud, a beautiful woman.
Many years ago in Scotland, there were 4 brothers by the name of Peart. They traveled to Ireland to work for the British Crown. They later sailed to the island of Jamaica where they were successful, and upon completing their mission there, the British Crown awarded them land and subtitles. When William reached adulthood, he met Ms. Andrea Boyd Melendez. William and Andrea had 5 children, 2 boys and 3 girls.
My brother Porter, he was always there for all of us all the time. He was instrumental in building the house, just like my father cousin and his son Peart. They were the 2 carpenters that guided my father and I in how to use a saw or hammer. My father, first daughter, second child, my sister Minta. She's the reason why I can't sing. But she used to sing to me when I was a little baby in Lecheria, and she couldn't sing. But she carried me around and she did everything that she could do for me.
Graciela Maria Russell, daughter of Ezekiah Watson and Eva Maria.
Graciela Grace, she was the most gracious person in the world. I think that when I got upset with her is because I thought she was too kind to people that weren't that
cool with her. And she was so humble in her ways, graceful as her name.
Great person, like everyone would say about their mother, but my mother was great.
She was very willing to help and give whatever. She was wonderful, wonderful, a lot of love.
My mother worked, so Mama took care of me. So when it was like Mother's Day and stuff, and my mother couldn't make it, Mama was my mama.
Bueno, de mi abuela recuerdo los años en la lonja, sus años en que estuvo ella siempre con una sonrisa, muy dulce, una persona muy dulce que le encantaba comer, y de verdad que son lindas las imágenes y los momentos que recuerdo de ella.
She was so supportive in everything. She would walk with me to school. I remember my first day of class, she would walk with me. She'd stand and wait till the class over. We didn't even have space in the classroom. Oh, I remember that so good. And she was right there because we were in an overflow classroom. Oh my goodness. And she would walk with me every morning to school.
And I remember she would put on her lipstick to go to the market. Oh, Mama's going out, you know. I mean, she was always home, so when she went out and she would put on her lipstick, we want a kiss. Everybody wants a kiss because we want a little lipstick from Mama.
My mother had friends that come and visit her up the hill, and the most of them would bring their complaints. And she never give favor to the husband or to them, but she always give advice how they could live better. She was so balanced.
My mom, a very loving person. She was also very strict.
If you did something wrong, whatever was reachable in her hand or was in her hand, that's what would be.
But her thing was, when your father come home, I'm going to tell him, let him correct you. You know, but I got a lot of slaps, so to say, in my mouth from my mom. When I was very lipstick, I do confess. I was always answering back because I could not conceive the fact that they asked you a question, and then when you answered the question, they told you you were answering back. So I usually answered back, as was said, and we'll always get the slap in my mouth for answering back. But she taught us the love and instilled in us the fear of God.
And I remember vividly my mom would be saying, whenever anyone argued with us or we have disagreement with anyone, she said, just leave them to God.
My mother, you come to her and you could answer the deepest of things, and she in a very easy way will give you her opinion or an answer to what you want to hear. She was always so peaceful that when sometime I'm sitting alone and I can hear her angelic voice just like in my head saying, son, God will make a way.
My mother was an only sister, our tia Emilia, and her children spent lots of time with us, and we visited with them in Cologne.
My aunt will receive us and okay, if you need to change, but now go and take all the messages and see your family. Strange enough, my aunt never go with us to any of the family. She always say, okay, go and see your family.
Tia Emilia Sterling. She is so lucid. She doesn't have any brain problem or anything. Tia is exceptional. Our only aunt. Great. My parents, they built a dynasty among the Pearts. We're not a dynasty that was made of fame or fortune or anything like that. Our dynasty really, the core value of our dynasty was love, honesty.
Love our neighbors and treat them just where we would like to be treated.
He taught us to respect. He used to tell us that respect was due even unto a dog. So when we passed, we had to say good morning to every Tom, Dick, and Harry who we passed on the road.
I have never seen my parents argue. Not one single solitary time.
I remember one day when I I had a marital argument. I told my dad, you know, you didn't teach us this part of love. You think that everything is just happy and good things, because I've never seen you or mama fight or anything. You never, at least in front of us, you never fought. So by me fighting, I think, whoa!
The most loving parents anyone could ever want to have. My mom and dad.
Greater parents, no one could ask for.
We take a lot of things for granted when we're small because, you don't really know. But when you grow up and you have to do the things yourself, you realize all what they go through.
They was the greatest parents on earth, and we, all the brothers, are blessed to have had such great experience with that foundation.
Mama Graciela and Papa William were the very best. The very, very best.
Could ask for nothing more. Great parents.
I could not complain of my bringing up. No.
If I could say anything to my mom and dad, you are the greatest dad and mom in the world, and I want to thank you for blessing me to be your son, because I would never ever want anyone else as parents. You bless me that I've lived in paradise.
And the hill and the house trying to take shape because it was first built as 2 rooms, then we had on a kitchen, then we had on a living room, then we keep on trying to improve the house since we started to have more children on the hill. I think Marcella was the last one before we went to the hill, so everybody else were born on the hill after Marcella.
We dance at that house, we sing at that house, and everything was done at the house. All the friends will come to the house and they'll hang out at the house. The house was the place to be.
My parents welcomed everyone in as if they were their kids also. A lot of food and enjoyment.
It was like going to an amusement park.
We were always outside. We were always playing with the neighbors or run up and down.
Always full of kids and people. Music, singing, dancing. We all just had a wonderful time. Storytellers.
We had our own baseball team. We had enough to play baseball. We had enough for a basketball team.
We even practiced track and field. My dad used to have us running around the yard. We are talking about my memory is not failing me, 3,000 square feet of land.
And rolling in a barrel. That was going down the hill, rolling in a barrel. That was fun.
People, all our friends and neighbors, we always wanted to be up at the Pearts, to have fun. It's just something that in our family that attracted people.
Our friends from school, our friends from church, and our neighbors from around, they all want to go to the Peart Hill.
My sister Vilma friend, they used to walk the mile and come in to get my sister to walk up at a mile to go where Serena were burned. That was the kind of friendship the Pearts attracted.
And at dinner time, whenever anyone came to visit, as long as we are eating, Mama always set a plate out for that person. No matter how little it is, whatever we have, it's split for everybody.
Time to eat. I always picture my mom serving this big table for 12 children and sometimes more because we always had visitors. My mama always had somebody spending time with us.
So many people lived in our house so many different times. I don't even know. Some that I thought were even siblings were not siblings. They were just friends, not even blood related.
We always were crowded. You go to bed with a lot of people, you wake up with a lot of people. The house was always full. I remember that very good. And not all of them were my brothers and sisters. There were some neighbors from somewhere that sleep over.
Friends and neighbors in the surroundings that were just like family. We could call them family. That's how close we were.
Lots of energy, lots of vibe, lots of love. Love was spoken there.
We had a neighbor, Mr. John, that anytime he saw us, he would say, the Pearts, he said, what a happy family. That's a happy family.
It's an extension of the hill. The hill defined us in many ways. What we are today is what we learned and being on the hill.
William Cornelius Peart. My dad, he was so wise.
I just love that man dearly, and I spent a lot of time with him because he stopped working when I was going to primer año or 7th grade, and so I would see him every day. Before that, I would see him only on Mondays, really, because that was when he was working, that was his day off.
He left for work before the sun came out, and he came home at sunset or after. And after eating, he was preparing to get to work the next day.
Dad was the only one work, so he had it hard. And these are things, like I said, we realize after we grow up and have to have a family of our own. Sometimes you step back and you say, but how could Dad raise 12 of us? He had own work.
He worked every day except Monday.
We don't work.
Well, my dad, while I was doing chores,
you had to go in the yard, you have to clean the yard, you have to cut the grass.
I cut in the grass with a machete. My father always said, and my mother always told me, I have to go back and cut what I thought I had cut.
Just kept us busy.
And he would gather on the step or on the porch with us, and we would play games.
Remember, he taught us to play dominoes, draft, cards, and stuff like that.
When it was full moon, we would lay on the ground.
And you will get broken pieces of bottles.
He put them around us, he put our hands open, spread apart.
And he made us a doll on the ground. This doll was called, I'm going to cry. This doll was called Moonshine Baby.
We lay and put the broken glass around us.
While forming it, he would tell us stories of things that happened and that he remembered.
He was a quiet person, but he always made decisions that he knew was best.
My father was very strict, very stern. I can't remember seeing him smile much.
The neighbors, our friends, and all of them, when they come at the house and they see Dad, everybody would get serious because Dad was so serious. He never used to, talk and joke around or anything like that.
By the looks, you will think it was mean, but it was very loving and very helpful.
Caring, and he was responsible.
Very, very giving person.
For someone who did not have a job outside the house by the time my memories, he was hardworking.
I remember Papa being out in the land and about, taking care of his chickens and growing his plants or picking up whatever. We had every tree in the world. We had almond tree. We had a blueberry tree.
Cashews, all different kind of cashew, red cashew, yellow cashew.
Nance, mamones, mango tree.
He was just so much into nature and the things that naturally was created by God. And really, anytime I see nature and I'm walking around, I remember my dad in that deep way.
He never liked for us to catch birds and put them in a cage and kill them. I used to love doing that.
I've always remembered how he made sure that our family prayed together by praying, reading the Bible.
My dad wasn't a church-going person, but he always insisted that we read the Bible and study the verses, and we go to church. All the churches that we could go.
Sometimes we go to church 3 times a day.
We went to almost all the denominations that we had.
On Saturdays, we will all gather around them and read the scriptures.
Christianity is deep in us.
God has been the background of our family. That is one thing that we were taught from before we learned to talk.
You know, people might say, well, we talk about God or Jesus and things like that, but we grow up Christ-like.
The only way to live a good life or a godly life is loving each other. In doing so, we are paving the way for a younger generation in hope that they will follow in those footsteps.
And that's family. Family is to give and to receive, but give with love, with kindness, to help each other out.
That's what helps us. Many of us are following in that same pattern, and that's what we pray for you guys, the younger one, to look to God, and then everything else will fall into place.
One hand washes the other, and with both hands we wash our face. So we need each other. There is nothing that we can do without one another.
Because that's the base of society. If there is love, nothing will beat that. We will conquer it all.
So that's why spreading the love, it will always come back.
Because the greatest thing is love.
God is love, and He's with us always. And if God is with you, you got to do what is godly.